As I'm laughing, saying chaos reigns to our guest before I even start this episode. Welcome to another episode of Certified Forgotten. I am Matt Donato, one of your co-hosts here. Mr. Monagle is not with us. He is currently traveling somewhere between New Orleans and Austin, so he's got the week off. I love having my two of my favorite people on dial for whenever I want to do a non-Monagle episode. And it's funny, I actually tried to get you both this time. So I'm going to stop talking to the ghost here. I will bring in once again Meagan Navarro. You know her from Bloody Disgusting. You know her from everywhere else, blah, blah, blah. Meagan, welcome back. But I tried to get BJ on too.
Oh, that would have been fun. She didn't have time.
No, she got stuck with work stuff. I was going to get both your takes on the end of the year, but I have you here. So we get to chat horror for the next 30 minutes, a nice bite-sized episode, and we're going to try to keep it with, like, our favorites of the year. But, I don't know about you, Meg, but, like, I've already been talking about my favorites on some podcasts. I wrote my list already for Inverse, so most of y'all, like, know what my favorite horror movies of the year are. So I'm going to try to maybe go a little off the beat and, like, stuff you should see that might be not in my top 15, blah, blah, blah. But sounds like you're still working on your list.
Oh, yeah, I haven't published mine yet. I'm still fine tuning, so nobody knows what my ranking is, and they're still not gonna know by the end of this because this is gonna be organized chaos.
I feel like it's crazier because earlier and earlier into the year, I feel like those lists are starting to come out because they want to dominate SEO or like a site wants to get ahead of it. But I don't know. I'm a big person of like, do your list once the year is actually wrapped. Like I like doing my top 10 for the year like in January.
We do our end of year coverage like that final like week basically between Christmas and January. So almost, but it's like a slow period and it's kind of like that final push before you jump into the new year. Yeah.
I mean, so let's just, start with it and let's keep it easy for now. If you had to, if you had to get your list down to your number one, because like I have my number one, it's The Ugly Stepsister. That is where I am, and I happy to talk about it later. If you haven't seen Ugly Stepsister, we've talked about it a bunch on the podcast. It's my favorite of the year. But Meg, if you plucked one right now, what's number one?
I don't want to pick number one. Can I pick it? Like it's gonna be in my top 3.
Give me no numbers.
No numbers because I don't know. I mean, obviously Weapons. I mean, like The Ugly Stepsister for sure is in my top 3, but like Weapons and Sinners. I'm just gonna give you 3 at once. Sorry, this is chaos. Chaos reigns.
I think that's a solid top 3 right there, and I think that's going to reflect a lot of people's tops. Not in your basic kind of way, in a overarching. It's been a good year.
Yeah, and you're hard pressed to come up with things that were as relevant or as wide reaching as those 3. I mean, the cultural impact of Sinners and Weapons, and The Ugly Stepsister came out of the gate and is already Oscar shortlisted. So yeah, I think that those 3 are just easy. Like you can't compete.
No, you can't compete. And I also, when I was doing my list, I tend, at least in prior years, to favor indie more. Like my lists have been a lot more independent horror versus studio.
Yeah.
But I looked at my list this year and it was a solid 50-50 split. And I think like the studio stuff came harder. And that's a testament to you right there, putting Sinners and Weapons so high. So like, what do you think changed this year for studio horror to have a stronger showing?
That's a good question because I'm not sure that they knew that Sinners was going to be what it was. And so it was just kind of like a happy accident that, I mean, it's not an accident, but it almost seems like it is, because it seems like the cards were almost stacked against Sinners in some ways. And for it to still be such a huge hit, to have, all of these award nominations at the end of the year, it was a little engine that just totally showed what it could do.
Yeah, I mean, it's music theory from dusk till dawn in a juke joint in one of the most racist times in American history, and there's just so much to mine in that. And you're right, like it just came out firing on all cylinders. It seems like a gamble for a studio to take in a way based on the studio horror that we're used to, and like I would call Weapons the same thing. It is that suburban folktale witchcraft film that, again, we haven't really seen that much. But again, I feel like that's a gamble for studios to do now.
Yeah, yeah, and, I think that they were really banking on Zach Kreger, and what they did with Barbarian, so I think they were a lot more confident in Weapons than I think they were in Sinners, so yeah, but, I mean, those 2 really are both proven talent already, like Zach in such a short time, so I think there's that. I think you see a lot of proven talent in a lot of these, like, really great studio releases, but then you also, on the indie side have the new breakout voices, so it's kind of like a best of both worlds this year.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I would even would you consider Hard Eyes studio?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hard Eyes is kinda high on mine. Like, I really dug Hard
That was
Eyes.
such a fun movie. Yeah. I think it's not in like the top. It's in probably if I were to do a top 15, it's for sure up there for me too. But yeah, that's definitely studio.
Yeah, so it was just really surprising for me to go back and be like, "Oh, like, Lionsgate with The Long Walk." I mean, if we're going, like, my top 3, my actual order is Ugly Stepsister at my number 1, Long Walk at my number 2, and The Monkey at my number 3. I
Big love for Osgood Perkins. That's
Yo, you
cool.
know me, though. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, I know. That's like not normal for you. I need to go back and listen to your monocle episode because you two don't ever get agree on the Perkins. That's like is that the one? How did he feel about the monkey? Did he like it too?
we did.
Oh, the rare overlap.
And especially, like, so weirdly for an Oz Perkins, that is my flavor. Like it is my kind of midnighter, my kind of goopy, gory, all that stuff. So I was expecting it to flip and be like, oh no, like I have become the defender in this episode. But we found common ground.
That's amazing. I'm gonna go back and listen to it. But yeah, the monkey is a blast. I don't know that we've had there's been a lot of blood this year too. Like all that and Final Destination, Bloodlines. I'm trying to think of some of the other really gory ones. We love bloodbaths.
I'm gonna listen. It might not be Bloodbath, but I am absolutely gonna go to bat for him. And I know I'm the only person.
Oh yeah, no, we're opposites there. Sorry. I think it's a gorgeous movie. I think its metaphor is a blunt sledgehammer, and then beyond that, it kind of loses me. But I get that. But I do. Well, you plead your case here.
I've
You
pleaded it already. Me and Monocle have done it. I just, in the spirit of kind of, just movies are different tastes, and we all have our own opinions.
This
And
is true.
I know that I am in the minority on this one. It ain't an any you thing. It is a me against the critical consensus thing.
Which we love those too. We love to champion. There's a movie for everybody. So yeah, I'm glad it hit for you.
Oh yeah, what were you gonna go into though?
I was gonna roll into something that I think we both are excited about as shark lovers. I feel like we had not one but two really great shark movies, which is not common at all. I feel like we watch shark horror and we're lucky if we get like a decent one a year. But to have two coming out of the gate so strong with Beast of War and Dangerous Animals, I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah, I mean Beast of War specifically because it went with the mechanical shark. And so here's the thing. I like Dangerous Animals more. I think Dangerous Animals fucking kicks ass.
Oh, for
But
sure.
that, that's more because of Jai Courtney and the serial killer aspect and all the real
The
like
performances, the energy. Yes, absolutely.
Beast of War gave me that. Listen, is it a mechanical shark that has like one facial feature? Yeah, it can't do much
But
there.
it's such a gorgeous looking shark. Like you do not care. It's the coolest looking shark I have seen. Dangerous Animals used real sharks that they did like a little bit of VFX enhancements, mostly like when you see the fins out of the water, that's VFX. Everything else is real. Whereas Beast of War went animatronic. So the lesson is don't go CG shark. And look what we have to show for it. These two really great movies, two very different styles. One, Beast of War is very slow drama war, bursts of Mario Bava, Ghost Shark. It's not actually Ghost, but that's kind of like what he designed it after. And then you've got like crazy, insane Jai Courtney serial killer shark movies. Two different, but both great. I adored both.
Yeah, I've been wading through the trenches, the shit, whatever you want to call it. I've been going through my shark indie horror kind of fix. I did it for Bloody, I did it for IGN. Like I'm like I gotta find one. And this again, Beast of War specifically proves you can do it simply with practical. like you said, I understand CG is easier maybe and cheaper and all this stuff,
Yeah.
but it just there's no replication. Like in a shark movie specifically, the shark is the draw, and if it looks like a fucking PlayStation 2 graphic,
Yes.
there's what are we gonna do there?
I think that's like and just another reason why I'm so enamored with Beast of War is because it does, like you said, it showcases that you can do something like that. This was a small movie. Like they obviously the bulk of it probably went to that shark, but they're clearly on a sound stage. Like they're in a tank, on a sound stage. They're not out in the ocean. You can't control that. And they use fog to kind of keep them in place, but it also is very like for production value purposes. So it was just really smart use of having basically no money, that's what you should do instead of slapping a CG shark in just another reskinned plot.
Well, in the spirit of off the beaten path horror movies too, because like we both gave you our top three, so you know the ones that
You
we
get it.
love.
You get a gist. Yeah.
You get the gist. Where did you land on Dead Talent Society?
I adored it, but Dead Talent Society, isn't that last year?
I don't believe it
Or did
hit.
it release on Netflix this year? And I have no concept of time anymore.
Bingo. Yeah. So we
Okay,
saw
cool.
it.
Then yes, that's what easily on my list. I legit have no idea. I'm like, I know I put it on the best list, but I think I put it on my best of 2025 so far in like the summer. And in my mind, that's 2024.
Yep. No, time is but a construct, and we are
Well,
stuck
thank
in it.
you for that. That's super helpful.
I was gonna say because that was one that really stuck with me, and I really want to call it out because I keep saying this everywhere, but it is the prime example of what Netflix does to international horror
Yeah.
and the way it played like a darling at Fantastic Fest. We all fell in love with it. We all wrote our reviews because like, yeah,
Yes.
we want it to get picked up by the right studio and distributed. Instead, I didn't even hear it get announced as a Netflix acquisition.
Oh no, it just showed up one day, which is the Netflix international way. Yeah.
And it's just such a bummer because I keep pitching it as like Beetlejuice meets like a sports comedy meets an actual horror movie, and it all just gets in there, and it's adorable. Like it's such a
Yes.
heartwarming movie, but it doesn't play down the horrorness of it all. Like it's so good.
And what if, like, yeah, I think I also use the Beetlejuice descriptor where I was like, this is what I wanted the Beetlejuice sequel to be. And this one's also not afraid to spill some blood. Like, it's still very whimsy cute, but it does some, Asian horror ghost scares, but it also isn't afraid to spill some blood and a little bit of gore. But the personalities is what makes it.
And it just goes to bat for again international horror that deserves more eyes on places like Netflix. I mean, if it went to Shudder, different story. Like, and I know there's no comparison between the subscriber counts of Shudder and
Yeah.
Netflix, but I actually think it would have made way more noise on Shudder because that's the kind of effect it has.
Yeah, I mean, locally, I'm curious what the numbers were where, released overseas, on Netflix because I'm sure it did much better, and that's probably where they promoted it, whereas here they're like, "Nah, you don't care. You'll find it or you won't."
No, that's fair and valid, but I can still be salty about it because I love
Oh, no, I'm not yeah, be
no, I know.
salty, be salty. More good horror should be more accessible, or at least people should be aware. So, yeah, be salty, but it probably did okay over there.
Give me something off the beaten path. Give me something that you are looking at going like, I don't really see people talking about it, but I dug it.
Okay, I have a few of those,
Go.
honestly, and
Go.
I'm torn between going with one that I don't know if you've seen and one that I know that no. You were more mild on it. Hollow Road, I feel like, is one that had such a garbage ass release. Like it was released as part of a double feature on Halloween night, and that's it. That's it. And I don't think it's hit VOD at all. I think it's just kind of floating in the ether. But that one, we both saw that at South by earlier this year. I think you were more muted on it. It's very minimalist. It's a Babak Anvari. He did Under the Shadow, which is also excellent on Netflix. He directed this. It's a tiny little road trip movie. It's very minimalist. They're in a car. Rosamund Pike, Matthew Rhys in a car racing to get to their daughter who has basically had a hit and run in the middle of the night. And they want to come save her and get her out of this mess because she'd been drinking. But it's on Halloween night. There's definitely a horror twist, something else twist that I won't spoil. But it was one of the more suspenseful movies for being so minimalist. You are on the edge of your seat from beginning to end. And I thought it was so well done. And I really like the kind of supernatural twist that he gives to it. So I really dug it. And I'm so sad that this movie really got the kind of release strategy that it did.
Yeah, I was mild on it. You are correct, but still positive. So like I do agree. Like it is it's a concept that was going to take a lot to get there, and I don't think Baba got there completely, but it still sells all that suspense that you're talking about, and it
Yeah.
still has that twist that will remain a twist for everyone
Yeah.
else to discover. But that release schedule, that sucked. Like that was so I can't even call it a schedule because you are correct. It played with a movie called Vincent Must
Vincent Must
Die.
Die, which I haven't seen, but I remember that playing at Fantasia, I think maybe the year before. That's all I know about that one. But yeah, these two movies, I don't even know what one of them is. I know one of them's good. The other one could be good. Don't know, because it was a double feature, one night only, and that's that. So eventually it'll come to VOD.
So what's your other one? What was that other title that you were staring at that is
The other title is A Desert. The neo-noir one that is so under the radar that it's really kind of like this desert noir meets Psycho a little bit. It's such a gritty, mean little movie, and I really liked it. And that's another really under the radar title that I don't see much buzz about at all.
that was Fantasia, correct?
Um, I saw it. I think Tribeca is where it for sure first premiered, and I don't remember where it went after that.
You are 100% correct. It was Tribeca I was thinking of because yeah, I saw it out of Tribeca. I appreciated it what it was doing,
Yeah,
but not enough to like power a Tribeca review out. So I just kind of like let it go after that. But like
yeah, I get
I
that.
should revisit it because when you're doing even a smaller midnight scale of Tribeca, which only has a few movies,
Yeah.
um, it's still like you're powering through in a weekend and trying to get them all done, and you
And
pick
this
and
is
choose.
yeah, this is not really the movie that you can just bang out a review. You really kind of have to ponder over it because it is very like quiet and introspective and internalized and yada yada. But yeah.
Yada
Yada
yada.
yada. But yeah. So I dig it, but I don't think it's like I get why it's kind of more under the radar too, because it is a little bit art housey.
No, that's a great call out because it is 100% not being talked about that much because I forgot about it until you mentioned it. That is
That's what this episode is.
where were you Bone Lake. Where'd you sit on Bone Lake?
Bone Lake's fun. I don't think that I loved it as much as the hype out of Fantastic Fest last year. I didn't see it at Fantastic Fest last year, so I saw it when it released, and I thought it was really fun. I didn't think it was over the top. We probably don't have time for the rant, but one day we will rant about how nobody has a clue what erotic thriller means anymore. I feel like this is like closest maybe among the string of people throwing out that label, but I have yet to see a full-on erotic thriller lately.
Yeah, I think I called it like psychosexual and some stuff, but like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
never went to like because like erotic thrillers have a vibe. It's
Yeah, like go to the 90s, go Basic Instinct, like the color of night. If I'm not seeing Bruce Willis's penis, then it's not an erotic thriller. That's a criteria.
that is a high bar.
But no, I'm just saying, like, they don't push it. Like, I think we're a little bit too prude as a society currently for an actual erotic thriller. So, I do think that Bone Lake is super fun. Maddie Hassan is always a blast, but it's not quite as risque. I think the first 10 minutes are probably the most risque.
Yeah. Because then it goes, we're not going to say where it goes fully, but I love where it goes in the back half, though, because
Yeah,
it becomes a different movie. It
yeah,
is, for those who don't know, like, if I'm going to sell you on Bone Lake, it is very much one of those Airbnb thrillers where two couples show up and, oh, we were double booked. I guess we can just share the Airbnb. And this one's big enough where you can, but it's the way the couples start interacting. And it almost
yeah,
becomes like a cat and mouse game where I said psychosexual for a reason. There's a
yes.
lot of temptation, things of that nature, and then it just flips. I was in it. I also really like the filmmaker's first movie, Spoonful of Sugar.
Yeah, I did like that one too.
Mercedes,
So
yeah, Mercedes Bryce Morgan is bringing like again, I don't want to say erotic thriller, but she's bringing like a
twisted
lot of
sexual
yes,
energy. So yeah, she's leaning there. I think if she keeps going, we will get a bona fide erotic thriller from her. So I hope she does. I am a freak who wants this. So yeah, give me the horny erotic thriller horror movie.
I don't think that's too much to ask in today's day and age. But I'm gonna keep going on kind of under the radar stuff. And towards the back of my top 20, I did put did you see It Feeds?
That is, Ashley Green?
Yes, Chad
Yes,
Archibald, one of the
yes.
Black Phone film.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
I understand why people might not like it. It takes some swings with a telepath and a child and a killer, and it's a little sloppy, I'm not gonna lie. But I found some really, like I've had some really interesting scares throughout, and I think there's good creature work. So for me, the way that I was kinda, like, attacking that on my, like, top 20 or whatever, I wanna classify it as, I really took to the idea that, like, it scared me in a way that other movies didn't, and I could kinda go along with the story it was telling to get me there. So, for one of those gambles in a movie that people aren't really talking about that much, I think
Yeah.
It Feeds is worth that. And right behind that, I actually have, The Damned, which, again,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
feels very much a little bit like Emma Tammy's The Wind, but with a 19th century Nordic fucking sea town that is just frozen ice.
It seems like, I'm gonna evoke his spirit again, but it seems like a Monocle movie.
Yeah, oh, Monocle made me watch it. So this was a
That makes so much sense, yeah.
but again, common ground. Monocle made me watch it, and I am a man of many tastes at times, and I went for the sleepy sea shanty fucking folkloric 19th century Nordic horror movie. I did, I can do it all.
I was playing God of War Ragnarok when I watched that movie. So I was like, why is everything like the same mythology all of a sudden? I love it because the main villain is the same or what do you call them? Little regular monsters that you fight are the same kind of mythology.
Mini bosses.
Mini bot, they're like just your regular like things that you hack and slash in God of War. The drogues, I'm no clue how to pronounce that. But yeah, basically there's commonality between the God of War and the Damned.
Yeah.
Very different otherwise. Yeah.
What else? What else you got on the maybe people haven't heard of list?
One that I adored, that you were definitely more muted on, but I'm preaching it anyways, The Surrender. That was a feature debut earlier this year, now on Shudder, and it is very grief horror, which a lot of people are sick to death of. But I thought the way she did it was really well done. I was obsessed with this kind of hell world that she envisioned. I adored the practical effects, the creature designs that came from it. There was one really amazing scare with a mirror that happens. Sorry, that's not really a spoiler. You're not going to see it coming. And the cat, like the two leads are incredible. I mean, it's Colby Minifay from The Boys, and she's got that same kind of neurotic, energy applied to guilt and loss and stuff. So yes, it is grief horror, but it spoke to me, and I just really liked how visceral and mean it got about it.
Yeah, I think grief horror, people poo poo it because, is the monster like the vampire's depression? We get it. But
Yeah,
yeah, that's a lot of movies, though. I understand we have an overload of it and we're kind of coming out of it finally. But when it's good, it's still good. I
yeah,
mean, we just had like, I think this was one of the movies I called out whether I loved it or not, as a wave of like almost like a resurgence of grief horror because like this was on the festival circuit.
yeah,
Touch Me was on the festival circuit. Like there were a few movies I watched that I was just like, you can still do grief horror right as long as you have the right approach. And like
yeah.
I feel like that's eternally
That
true.
that's exactly it in a nutshell. Is yes, it's grief horror, but to me, it was really inventive in how she did it. That like, yeah, I agree. So I really liked that one. And then I feel like it's not quite horror enough to really land on the list, but if it was, it would absolutely be in my top five. Dust Bunny.
Oh, fair. I
I
think that counts. I understand what you're saying. I understand
Yeah,
why, but I feel like it counts.
I mean, it does toe dip for sure into horror, but I don't think it does enough compared to all of the other like actual horror movies we got. So it's more kind of honorable mention. If it was a little bit more horror, it would absolutely be in my top five. This is such a cute movie. It's a cute movie.
It's really adorable, like, legitimately. I watched it with a big grin on my face, and I'm just, Mads being like, it's almost like Leon the Professional in a little way with Mads and his little accomplice, and
It's so funny. I mean, I saw this at, Midnight Madness at TIFF, and the whole crowd loved it. I mean, it was a genuine crowd pleaser movie, and there's a scene involving a church that I still, like, crack up about thinking about. So, yeah, the most adorable feel-good horror-ish movie of the year, Dust Bunny.
I think that lands. I think that's fair. I mean, listen, in a year where we got gateway horror that spans Dust Bunny to Five Nights 2, I mean, let's call out the good ones.
Yes! Yes, yes. Go see Dust Bunny. Go see Dust Bunny.
Five Nights doesn't need your money. That is for damn sure. It's making all the money anyway.
You've probably seen it already anyway, so go see Dust Bunny.
I think one that I hesitate to call out because I understand. I did not know this at the time because I saw it at Fantastic Fest, but right before release, I saw somebody say that like there's like an AI image used in it somewhere. So I am not advocating for AI. I'm obviously not on that train at all. But I really liked Strange Harvest.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's unfortunate if that is true, so that's why I'm using the disclaimer. I did not see anything but some accusations. If it was like some photos used in it because it's a very the Poughkeepsie Tapes kind of film
Yeah.
where it's a docu series, faux doc, like we're talking like a faux doc and a serial killer, and you're getting the footage intercut with the talking heads and stuff. So as I watched it the first time, I didn't notice it, and I want it not to be true because Strange Harvest got me in so many ways. It's well done as a faux doc. Like, it's the
Yeah.
closest to Poughkeepsie Tapes I felt in a long time.
I agree with you where I saw this at a fest and really adored this and did not when you're watching a movie for the first time, it's you're not paying attention to the small background photos and frames and stuff. I'm not. And I think that that's what I'd heard. But yeah, if that's true, it is a bummer because otherwise it is a very very good doc or mockumentary that is creepy. It has really good lore. So yeah, I agree with you 100%.
And so, one, if you want one without AI, Man Finds Tape. I it, I think it is pretty well done for some feature filmmakers doing their spin on like a faux documentary, but also like it's kind of got some. Why am I blanking? Oh my god, Mulder and Scully. What the
Oh,
fuck?
X-Files.
Holy shit, my brain just died.
You gave me synonyms. We got
I
it.
can't believe that just I'm leaving this in because I don't know how that just happened, but anyway, good X-Files vibes with a cult kind of Jonestown undertone. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, like, not saying because I know Peter Hall and, Mr. Paul Gandersman, like, they're just talented filmmakers and they're coming out with their first movie, and I love that they got their shot. The Rustic Film Boys produced it, but genuinely, like, I watched it, I felt creeped out, and I'm a fan of those kind of mockumentary-esque films, and I think they found a really nice way to once again tell an ongoing story while using some of that footage just to throw in here and there. So like it's not overwhelming. I wish I liked the horror in the high desert movies. I feel like those are the opposite where they're just all talking heads and I don't get any horror. I think Man Finds Tape is a nice inversion of that where they put the horror first and weave that in.
Yeah, my horror hot take is that, I thought I was a found footage horror fan. I think I'm not. I think I'm just selective. Like there's few that I enjoy, but there's so many people that champion like a lot of found footage movie series or just standalones and I'll watch them and I can't get past a lot of the dialogue and the acting and it's like I get why, but dialogue at least, horror in the high desert. I remember one of the early ones where it's kind of felt like most of it is just talking heads and then 10 minutes of scares. But there's just some of the actions and dialogue just takes me right out of it. I'm like, this is not natural. This is not how people talk. So that type of thing drives me crazy. So yeah, I'm with you where I need a little bit more immersion into reality than what these movies give me.
Yeah, suffice it to say, Horror in the High Desert 4 is not on either of our lists.
No, but I adore that he's cranking them out and that people really respond. They're working for a lot of people since they're still going. Not for me.
If you can do that, absolutely. Listen, play to your market. If you are a filmmaker who is whether you're doing it on the grand scale or just a micro scale, like absolutely enjoy what you're making and make it for people who love it. Like that is I will never take anything away from a filmmaker doing it, whether I like that film or not.
You're right. Go have fun in the desert, guys. I like the AC.
Yeah, there you go. Well, we're winding down. Is there anything else you want to give an honorable mention to and let the people know, hey, this is out there?
Not really a indie one, but one that didn't really perform at the box office as strong as I feel like it should have. The Long Walk. I feel like I understand why it's not really the type of horror movie that people are eager to sign up for in 2025, but the cast is so tremendous. I adore this cast. Spending time with these boys in this movie never felt like a depressing slog like the premise actually is. So, yeah, I just feel like people should definitely give that a chance.
Yeah, I mean, it's my number 2 of the year. I'm not gonna downplay how much I love this movie. It is, how do you make a movie about kids walking to their death for 90, 100 minutes? Any
Yeah.
bit engaging, and, The Long Walk pulls it off so well. It is so heartfelt. It is so depressing for the right reasons. It is so mirror image in the right ways of protest to what we are going through in our fascist, fucking tyrannical bullshit of a society right now.
Yeah.
And the performances, I'm so mad this didn't get a nomination for the Critics' Choice, and I know it's not going to get anything for the Academy. Like, this is my number one for ensemble this year. There's nothing better. David Johnson, Cooper Hoffman, like,
David Johnson is
oh,
incredible.
David Johnson knocked it out of the park. How do you find hope in a movie like this, and yet he does it?
He does. He's just got that he's got star power. He's going places. And this is definitely the movie to see it. I mean, I'm blanking on his name, but there was the actor, long hair, his character came from Sioux Falls. He's in It Welcome to Derry. So, immediately you're seeing these people pop up in places. So, yeah, check it out. Be on the know.
Yes, be on the know, be in on that. I'm also gonna leave y'all and say I'm a Joseph Kahn movie person.
Oh, ick.
Yeah, listen, Joseph Kahn says some dumb shit. Not gonna fucking argue that. But his movies are very entertaining to me. And
It's so pop punk you. I'm very glad that you brought this up because I feel like it is definitely a Donato movie.
my little millennial heart, like if I can get a scene that is unironically set to Creed in a really emotional moment, I'm gonna have to love that movie. And is Ick trying to do the Blob, but with all CGI? Yes. Am I mad at that part of it? Absolutely. I do
Yeah.
not like that it's so much CG. Obviously, Joseph Kahn had to do what he had to do to make this movie, but the soundtrack number one is he's a music video guy, and he went all out with the bangers for every pop punk adult out there.
He spent the budget where it counted. The pop punk soundtrack, not the monsters and not that.
Brandon Routh and a pop punk soundtrack.
Yeah, that's where the budget went. And I think that was a smart call ultimately. Like, yeah, you want the monster, like the blobby stuff to look cool, but Brandon Routh is good. The soundtrack is banger. So,
So yeah, again, my favorite of the year, not by a long shot, but something that you probably didn't hear of because again, quiet release, nothing really groundbreaking on that way. So I don't know. It's something to if you want to have some fun. It is a fun horror movie. Again, don't expect the best effects, but expect a mini little concert in your house.
the trip down memory lane. Hope maybe, I don't know.
God, well, for us, of a certain age, but for kids, maybe they'll be, what the fuck is this shit? It's like, shut up.
It'll be like the teen daughter. They can relate with her.
There we go. All right. Well, I think we've given a decent sample of our favorite of the year. And, again, if you want to read my list, I've got 20 of my favorite horror movies on Inverse. And I'm sure, Meg, yours will be coming out soon on Bloody Disgusting.
Absolutely.
Perfecto. Well, where can the people find you in the meantime?
On Bloody Disgusting. And on socials at Haunted Meg.
You can find me, Matt Donato, as always, at Donatobomb, DONATOBOMB. And that is mainly the Blue Sky, Instagram, and the Letterboxd. Also, you're listening to Certified Forgotten. So, number one, why don't you give us a follow, give us a rating? We love those two things. And check out the website, because we have a sister website that is always pumping out fun little articles about underseen movies. Yet again, we like to keep a focus on what people aren't talking about, because I don't know, it's fun for us, and that's what we want to do. So check the website out, follow the podcast, come back for more, and we'll see you next time.